Oh, hi there. Are we live?
Well, hold on. Almost.
Okay, you let me know.
All right, we're live now. Hi, this is Abelardo de la Peña Jr., Director of Marketing and Communications with La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, welcoming you to En Casa con la Plaza, En Casa con la Plaza Cocina, which we have almost every Monday afternoon at this time. Our series of En Casa con la Plaza sessions have been going on for a year plus. We've had some incredible guests, and tonight we have a repeat. But before we bring on our co-host Jimena, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on at La Plaza. We're open every day, except Tuesday from noon to 5. La Tienda gift store is also open. These are the last few weeks for you to view Afro-Latinidad, Mi Casa, My City, where we explore the history and contemporary experiences of Afro-Latinidad in this great city through art, photographs, and personal objects. This is also the final month of Only Light Can Do That, another exhibition that we have. It's a large-scale neon mural installation by multimedia artist Patrick Martinez, who's enjoying some phenomenal success. We activate our Victory Brunswick building and Plaza House building windows with social political messages. It's incredible to see day or night, but I recommend you cruise on by at night. Our public programming is also in full swing. Last weekend, we hosted the Dolores Huerta Foundation fundraiser, our Summer of Salsa with Trombor, and the Fiestas Patrias Family Day. You can catch videos, posts, and stories on our Facebook and Instagram pages. You will not be disappointed. And finally, our fundraiser, Pobladores Awards, is coming up pretty quickly. You're going to flash a quick poster there. Pobladores Awards, Wednesday, September 29th. Join us in person or virtually to celebrate 10 years of honoring our roots and empowering our future. It's a gala, it's a dinner, it's a silent auction, all in support of Latina and Latino history, cultura y arte in LA. For more information or sponsorships or tickets, you could go to our website, and I'm gonna go ahead and find that link, and I'll put it on the Zoom share. Here it goes. Where's the chat? Where are you, chat? Let's see. Well, I'll put it on later. But also I'll put it on here and on the Facebook. I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to bring on our co-host for En Casa con la Plaza Cocina, actually our host, Jimena Martin, who's our Director of Programming and Culinary Arts. Join us, please. Thank you.
Hola, ¿qué tal? How are you, Beraldo? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Recouping from an amazing family that we had yesterday.
Oh, yeah. We had a great family day. We had a great salsa, last summer of salsa for the year. A lot of activity.
Yeah, the Dolores Huerta Foundation was in the house. And we had beautiful music with Las Catrinas, Lindas Mexicanas, a really nice way to kick off our Hispanic Month celebration at La Plaza.
Oh, yeah.
Anywho, today it's been warm, it's hot, it's summertime salsa with Oscar Ochoa. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty. Oscar, I think we need to go back. You are sideways right now. Yes, yeah, we're going to have to for whatever reason, now you are sideways. We're not seeing you the way we saw you when we first started testing you earlier this.
Yeah, Oscar, if you could please unmute. Let's start with unmuting, so at least we could hear you. All right. Why don't you, okay. In the meantime, tell us about what's happening with La Cocina.
La Cocina, we're getting ready. We are working, putting together a beautiful inaugural exhibition on corn. This is live TV. It's wonderful. It's great space. And right now we're in the middle of purchasing all the tools of the trade for the kitchen in the back. And then we're also going to create a pop-up for the little La Tiendita that's part of La Cocina. So La Cocina has a little boutique shop, beautiful corn exhibition, and then obviously our hands-on teaching kitchen.
So let me, really quick question. Do you want me to have it vertical or horizontal?
Okay, what are you, let's just leave it. Okay, there you go. Just like that.
Right?
Yeah, if you could just position it, that's perfect right there.
Okay, and then you wanted me to unmute, correct?
You've already unmuted, so you're fine. We could hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I mean, I'm on the phone too, that's why. But let me go ahead and get back to my position then.
All right,
Okay.
and who's in front of the camera
there,
right?
right?
You introduce who's in front of the camera with you.
Oh, her name is Blanca. Her daughter is one of my assistants, and so Blanca is all me. This is Blanca Hernandez.
Hola, Blanca.
Okay. The beauty of life. The beauty of live TV.
Ella es de Hidalgo, México.
Bienvenido.
Great.
All right. Good.
Okie dokies. Let's start all over again. Okay, buenas tardes. Today we have a very special guest, old friend of La Plaza, who's been teaching several classes, Prácticas y Pruebas for us, Oscar Ochoa, who is the owner, chef of El Machete Salsas. He's done wonderful work in the community. I was there as the go-to during the pandemic, where we can get our fresh salsas, beautiful tortillas, food for the home. So we're still able to eat at home deliciously while we were in pandemic en casa. We can also find Oscar at the Hollywood Farmers Market and lately at the Mar Vista Farmers Market. And let's see what he's been up to with today's topic, which is summer salsas. Hola, Oscar. How are you?
Hola, buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everybody. Just trying to stay a little bit cool during this summer, man. The heat's been pretty intense. Just got back from a trip in Baja California doing some fishing. So, you know, a lot of rest, but it's time to get back to work. Having also been motivated, inspired by some of my recent trips to Baja California, I decided, let's bring some fresh salsa, summer salsas, so we can continue to enjoy the tail end of the summer. And a lot of fresh ingredients you can find right now, such as mangoes. You know, obviously we got a lot of fresh habaneros that are being offered today at the markets. And, can't go wrong with some lime juice, some orange juice, fresh tomatoes and tomatillos, things that we're going to be working with today. So, I decided to make 3 different salsas. We're going to do basically a take on a classic, like a salsa fresca using, I went ahead and pre-diced all my tomatoes with mango, a little bit of orange juice, a little bit of lime juice. So we're going to give like a semi-sweet with a kick of the habanero. We're going to use habanero chile in the salsa fresca. We're going to do a salsa de aguacate. We got ourselves some fresh avocados. We're going to do a tomatillo base. So we got a lot of fresh tomatillos. Again, pre-cut, just to make the process a little bit smoother here while we're live. We're also going to do a fresh, the first salsa fresca has, habanero and orange juice. Then we're going to do a raw tomatillo salsa with fresh mango, just sort of tinkering with some of the fresh fruit that's around right now. And so those are the 3 salsas that we're going to start with today. Anything else I should keep in mind at this point, Jimena?
No, just tell us, the thought about we have a lot of people who are cooking at home and wondering how to be their own business persons. How did you start your business and how were you able to integrate your passion into the farmers markets?
I was able to integrate, I'm sorry, one more time?
How were you able to integrate your passions like cooking and your salsas to go into the farmers market? Like if I was like a baker and I made brownies, or what it would be the process to go into the farmers market? Obviously yours is salsas, but how do you go around that?
Yeah. So I have a background in education, worked at university programs up until I quit my job about 4 years ago. During that time, I was always cooking. On weekends, started a hot sauce brand named El Machete, and I essentially built that brand grassroots, just doing a lot of events and some events there at the plaza as well. So it was a good way for me to introduce my brand with Machete and essentially build my brand grassroots here in the Los Angeles area. And so as time moved on, I tried to get into a farmer's market just to test out, you know, the viability of introducing a hot sauce there at the farmer's market. It worked out. I had some problems with the health department at some point. I couldn't sell my hot sauce anymore, but it opened up the door to my first love, which is actually salsas. So I started making my fresh salsas. I had no intention of doing that, but this is like where my journey took me. And so you fast forward, I have 2 farmers markets now. During the pandemic, we were doing a lot of curbside from our kitchen. This is our humble abode right now. It's I just got into this private space, but yeah, so we build our brand. We're continuing to build our brand there at both our Hollywood Farmers Market and the Mar Vista Farmers Market, which is near Venice. And we introduce a variety of raw salsas, fire roasted salsas. We have someone on our team that makes mole for us as well. So we introduce mole. We do rice. We do about 3 different kinds of beans: black beans, pintos, northern beans, lentils. So we bring a lot of pre-made Mexican-style products, like food product, along with organic tortillas from some of the local brands here, like Kernel Truth and La Gloria flour tortillas, chips. So it's a one-stop, almost like a little Mexican deli at the farmers market. And so that's what we've been doing for the last years and the last couple of years, and 3 years, I should say, at the farmers market. And things can continue to go well for us. So I'm blessed, and we have a lot of support from Angelino.
Well, congratulations. That's good stuff. I can vouch. Your salsas are delicious. They're my favorite. I love your the green salsa, the poblanos. The poblano tomatillo salsa that you do. It's the best. So,
gracias.
No. Muéstranos, what is your first recipe for the day?
So the first recipe for the day, we're gonna do the equivalent of a Pico de Gallo. We call it a salsa fresca. We're gonna introduce it with red onion, a little bit of fresh orange juice, lime juice, garlic, cilantro, and some not so ripe. I like tomatoes to be a little bit on the firm side. So we got some nice aromas that aren't entirely ripe. And yeah, nice little peak salt. And that's going to be the ticket for our first salsa.
Can you share the portion so folks at home can make this, please?
Yeah, so I think what I want to do is just we're going to do sort of a rough in terms of, it's not completely measured, but I'll kind of give you an idea of, it's easy to make, right? We're going to use a food processor. And I'm just going to sort of eyeball. I'll give you an idea of, like, maybe it's going to be, half of a medium onion and, maybe 4 tomatoes. But these are things that you can do at home, and you can kind of gauge. Like, if you don't want to add any garlic, you don't have to. Like today, I decided I'm not going to do garlic on the mango tomatillo. I'm just going to keep it without garlic. So those are things that you can do. There's so many options. You can roast your garlic. So these are things that you could easily do at home, and you could just, if you want more fruit on your say, mango salsa, you're welcome to do so. But this just gives you an idea of ways to combine ingredients, so to speak. And everything is sort of like, make to, add or season to taste, so to speak.
Okay. So before you get started, we have some saludos from Kristen, from Whittier, and Pastor Herrera from Los Feliz. So they say hello, so they're watching us. So please continue and show us how you make your salsas, please.
All right. So, well, welcome. Should we proceed and get going with the first one?
Please do.
Okay, cool. So let me just add, we're going to start with our onions, like I said earlier. Let me get my food processor here. I'm sitting down today. This is the best angle right here where we're at. And not to mention, I had a small injury in my leg, so this helps out. But let's just figure, I got a medium onion. I'm going to do, let's just say, roughly about a half of a medium onion. I'm using a red onion. Red onions tend to be a little bit on the sweeter side. On the salsa fresca, we are going to add some garlic. I use a California garlic. It's called Versifer Ranch. That's the brand, heirloom garlic. Just gonna eyeball it, maybe like four little cloves of garlic. We're gonna go a little bit on the, I got my hands on some habaneros. So a friend of mine left these in my refrigerator here in my kitchen. She sourced red habaneros and orange habaneros. I think at the supermarket, this is what you can normally sort of find, the orange habaneros. Tend to be the most common. But the red ones are nice. They tend to be a little bit fruitier. So let's, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to combine. Actually, we're going to go a little bit hot. We're going to do these three. It's quite a bit of heat. But so again, you can just do like a rough chop on these because the food processor will take care of the work.
Now, is it going to be super spicy? Are they going to be super spicy since you left the seeds in?
Yeah, you could leave some seeds. I'll probably take out some and then leave some on the, I believe that she is. But yeah, the habanero for sure, you got to be careful. A lot of the heat, or as we call it, the capsaicin, is concentrated in the veins. You can take a little bit of a look here. In the veins and in the seeds, that's where you're going to find most of the heat. Okay, so we have our red onions. It's about a half of a medium onion. We have 3 habaneros. I'm going to go ahead and put some salt on there right now. I'm using a little bit of Himalayan pink salt. Just going to eyeball in it, probably a couple of pinches. We're going to do maybe, let's say a little bit of orange juice. 1, 2, maybe like 3, 4 tablespoons. Limes, you want to make sure your limes are nice and green, smooth, and they have some give. And they have like a lot of sort of these brown spots. They've already become bitter, so you really don't want to, use those types of limes. So a little bit of moisture is good just to get the process going in terms of, the food processing. At least right now, the onions, we have onions, garlic, and we have chilies. And afterwards, we'll add tomatoes and we'll add cilantro at the end. So let's just see where this goes. I'm not sure if you guys can take a look from there, but let me go ahead and start processing this. Close. It's up to you how much you want to break down the ingredients, but this is kind of a look at kind of where we're at. It already smells good. I mean, if you just wanted to use this and put it on fish tacos, you totally could, right? Without the tomatoes. Now let's get some tomatoes here. So I got here maybe like, excuse me for a second. That's the habanero effect. Let's just say about 4 or 5 robas, medium size. We're going to go ahead and add it to here, to the food processor. Excuse me. And we're going to get about 2 good pinches of cilantro. We already pre-chopped the cilantro, just to make it easier. Just a rough chop. And the food processor doesn't puree it. It'll still leave chunks of cilantro. Of course, if you don't want cilantro, you could opt for maybe a little bit of parsley. But oftentimes I like to keep it a little bit more classic. So I'll stop a little bit of the way through, and then I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I fold this a little bit. I can smell the habanero, it's strong. A little bit more. But I could definitely, let me just give you an idea where it's at. Not too bad. I'm gonna just crush it just a little bit more, and I think we'll be ready to go. All right, I think we're good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into the bowl, and actually I'll just pour it directly into a small bowl. Give me 1 second. So I got this at my local Northgate Market, just a little clay bowl from Mexico. One second. We'll just hand it over to my assistant right here. I'm a lucky man. And let's go ahead and pour.
So once you make the salsa, I'm sure it's going to be gone. So no, but still, if there's any, I'm sure the salsa, once people start eating it, it's going to be gone. However, if there's some leftovers, how long would it last in the fridge? Or can you add vinegar to it after the fact, or as is? Or
I see. Yeah, when it comes to the fresh salsas, typically I tell my customers, for the day we make them, it's a peak freshness is about 4 days to 5 days. However, the cooked salsas have a little bit more shelf life. The fresher ones, especially with the tomatoes, they'll start to wilt. They'll lose a little bit of their integrity after a while. So I recommend the fresh salsa to be eaten as soon as possible, right?
Absolutely. As if there's any left over, of course, yes.
Exactly. So, chips, grilled fish tacos. Some of my customers get the salsa fresca and they'll put it in a salad. I like to personally sometimes just have a little bit of boiled beans, like frijoles de la olla, what I grew up with. A little bit of salsa fresca and some, a little bit of queso fresco, etc. But yeah, this is one way of I added the orange juice, and you could also manage sort of the sweet and the tart from the lemon. And the habanero and the orange juice sort of play well. So it's just, one little take. However, we don't have to hold back. We have mangoes here on hand. So if you wanted to add some mangoes to your salsa fresca, that would be another way of just, combining some of the fruit that's available right now.
Yeah.
And so it just gives you an idea that, you don't have to just, you can be creative with your salsas. This is a little bit mouth-watering right now. Sorry, Ray.
Okay.
You could also, if you so desire to, you can get yourself some aguacate. You can cube some nice, the firm avocado, cube it, and fold it into your salsa fresca as well. That's like another option.
With the avocado, it makes it oily. It just gives it like another layer. Like when I don't have avocado, if I do a salsa fresca, I do a pineapple one. And what I do is I pour a little good olive oil and emulsify it just to give that little extra, another layer of flavor to the salsa fresca.
Absolutely. You could add a little bit of, it's almost like when you make a salad dressing, you're sort of balancing a little bit of fat and the tart. And so a little bit of olive oil, some highlight, sunflower oil, definitely ways to sort of give it another layer of depth to the salsa.
Perfect.
So here we go, just a little quick and easy salsa fresca.
So what is salsa number 2?
All right. So salsa number 2, let me get rid of some of these things here. Let me get this to my assistant really quick. Pásame ese bowl. So I'm going English and Spanish right now, navigating.
Hey, you didn't answer my question though about what is the process to get into a farm? It's okay, no. What is the process to get into a farmer's market? I mean, like how does that work?
Absolutely. So the farmers markets, a little bit, well, for one, there's a couple of, there's some requirements that are laid out by the Department of Health, the Department of Health of Los Angeles, right? Or LA County, I should say. one thing is that you need to, for my product, for example, since I do pre-packaged, so just keep in mind, I would package a salsa like this in a clear, a deli cup like this, with a label, with a lid, and as soon as we process, we put in the refrigerator. So what the products that I bring, they're called pre-packaged products. So I first need to get a permit from the California Department of Public Health. Okay, that's step one. And they require that you operate from a commercial kitchen, okay, an approved commercial kitchen. So secondly, or those two, they go hand in hand. First, I need to apply to a commercial kitchen, and then I need to acquire what they call a processed food registry, which is a permit to make prepackaged food. So then, yeah, have to have approved facility, the permit, and then Los Angeles Health Department provides you their own permit for operating from the commercial kitchen. And again, the one from California, the processed food registry, that approves you for prepackaged food. So we have the facility, we have two different permits, and then you also have to get a permit to sell at a farmer's market. It's a little bit of a process. I checked in 19. Actually, I've had numerous conversations with people that just been interested in launching a product, and we love to help people out. Those of us that have been around for a little while, it is a few steps. So then the other thing is actually getting accepted to a farmer's market. There's no guarantee. There's somebody else doing the same product, or depending on management, they may not even be into, like, maybe I don't want salsas in my market right now. Like, there's a lot of factors, timing, you know, but yeah, it can be a little bit tricky with farmers markets. It's not always good.
Thank you for sharing, because I know there's a lot of people who watch us and are curious. They're like home cooks like you, or chefs, or home chefs, and they how to put their product out. Now, you know, side hustle, job, change of pace like you did with yourself. But thank you for sharing, and thank you for being so gracious and offering up your Instagram for people to ask those questions on what that process was, which is great.
You know, just really quick, you could also just, you could work on all those steps while you're still holding on your regular job, for example. So you know, at least you secure all of the permit stuff, get it all out of the way, and then, you know, get accepted into a market, and then, you know, without having to quit your job, right? Because markets, you can find markets on the weekends, but there's a lot of steps involved. So it's important to just, you know, hold on your revenue, your money making the job, and then do your research over here, and always seek out advice from people that have been around the block. So.
Gracias, Oscar. Gracias.
Okay. All right. So, okay, cool. Should we proceed? Should we go on to the next one?
Yes, please. What's salsa number 2 now?
All right, cool. So I'm going to finish with the avocado salsa. This way I can use the same blender and not smudge it with avocado. But right now we're going to work on
Oops. Oscar? We can't hear you.
Oscar, somehow you got muted, so you need to unmute.
Unmute, and you need to turn your camera back.
I think once you unmute, it'll turn the camera. But just if you can please unmute.
one sec. So I think you guys can hear me now.
Yes, now we could see you and hear you.
All right. So
Almost.
Let me go ahead. All right. I think we're there.
Yes.
Does that look about right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool. Thank you all for being patient. All right. Let's see. All right. Are we okay?
Just a little bit, just when you speak, I just need you to lean forward because then we can't see your face, but it's okay. It's okay. Just lean forward a little bit or push it back up.
I'm going to have her adjust the camera.
Okay.
She'll adjust it right now.
Thank you. Un poquito más. Ahí está bien. That's good.
Right there?
Yeah, got it.
All right. Beautiful. Sounds good. Okay, cool. Thank you.
No, listo. Listo, adelante. Go for it.
All right, cool.
It's okay.
All right. So next salsa we're going to do is raw tomatillo, as we put it out earlier, right? Fresh raw tomatillos, which creates a beautiful bright green color. Sorry. When you cook tomatillos, they tend to dull in color, but yeah, man, we got some nice fresh bright tomatillos. We have I'm going to go ahead and fold the mango into the puree, the tomatillo puree. So we went ahead and just pre-chopped, hand-chopped the mangoes. You could also put it through a food processor if you have to. I decided to go hand-chop. I'm going to go a little bit on the hot side. We prepared I pre-chopped some serranos, chile serrano. I like the depth and the flavor of the chile serrano. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite chiles. Jalapeno is also popular. It's good. In terms of the green chile, serrano for me is the one. I also pre-chopped red onion. Okay, so instead of pureeing it into the tomatillo base, I want texture. So that's why I decided to hand chop my onions, my chile serrano, and my mango. We're going to use fresh lime juice. You know, it's obviously got to get the right kind of limes. Got to have soft, pliable. You don't want any brown spots because they're bitter. And then we already have some pre-chopped cilantro. And essentially that's going to be the base. That's essentially real simple. I'm not using garlic for this particular salsa, okay? So let's just work on the base. That's going to be the key. Let's get the base going for the...
Okay, while you're getting the base going, we have here DG. I live down the street from the Mar Vista Farmers Market, but never go. But recently a neighbor told me about your delicious salsas. The neighborhood is spreading the word about your salsas.
That's always a beautiful thing. Thank you. Humble. I love that.
And then there's Sandy Romero, Mama. She says hello. And then we have Holly Lynn Porter from Apple Valley in the house.
Right. Welcome, everybody. So I just put a few tomatillos just to start the process. I'm going to put maybe, let's say, a lime and a half. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get the tomatillos to start pureeing because they're so, you know, they have good fiber and, you know, they're firm. So sometimes they don't blend as easily. But I have
do you have any tips on how to pick the perfect tomatillo? Because they're husk.
Yeah.
What is your key?
Sometimes you have to look through the husk. I mean, that's just me. I'll open up the husk, and I like smaller tomatillos and firm. And I actually like them to be green, like a bright green. Unfortunately, a lot of so here's a good, a decent, it's not as green as I like them, but that's a pretty nice looking tomatillo. And on the inside, it has a nice sort of light color. Sometimes it'll be a little bit brown. I mean, you know, for me, this is what I like about a tomatillo, especially if here's maybe a little bit darker green. This is kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, Pero is really a nicer one that has purple and green, but this is on the commercial side. I prefer the smaller ones. The other ones that feel like they're a little bit too airy, too soft sometimes. The large ones, they don't have enough like firm flesh, so to speak. So I like small and green tomatillos. All right, so right now that I have my, and more or less what I got, it'll reduce. Once I have more liquid, I'll keep adding tomatillos if I so prefer, right? So now we're gonna just add some salt. I like to add the salt during the pureeing process. And you can always adjust the salt afterwards. And then we'll go ahead and I don't know if you guys can see this right here, but we're gonna blend. I got this is a Vitamix, so it's got quite a bit of power. Let's see where we're at. Get this stick here to press. Okay, so I'm gonna add a few more tomatillos. So let me show you. Sometimes what happens, it can be a little bit watery sometimes, okay? This is a powerful blender, so it like really blends the fiber quite easily. So you could also strain this, you know, put it through a strainer and just keep most of the flesh. But I'm gonna go ahead and just add more tomatillos. I promised my friend I'd take him home some salsas. I might as well just make it now, right? I think there's some Monday Night Football going on. So let me go ahead and I just added a few more tomatillos into the liquid base. And I'm not gonna blend this fast. I'm gonna just sort of pulse, give the pulse blend style. See where we're at. So it does get tricky with the salsa. Sometimes there's just, depends on the tomatillo. Sometimes it can have a lot of water content. Or sometimes you just have to let it settle and then the water will separate and you can remove some of the water. So let me, I'm probably gonna strain just a little bit of the liquid. So I'll just ask my assistant to bring me a strainer. We're gonna strain a little bit of the water. I could always add it back in. I'm not gonna throw it away.
I know those Vitamixes are super strong. They're a little bit pricey, but it's such an investment. Once you have one, it'll last you a lifetime.
Yes, it will. Absolutely. So I'm just going to strain a little bit of the liquid. Nothing wrong with, you know, I mean, these are the kinds of adjustments you make. You can do these at home, right? Obviously. Just to give you an idea, this is like all of the extra liquid that's being strained.
That's
of course, I put some lime. I have put lime in there earlier, but you know, I could always readjust that.
It's a beautiful color. It's a beautiful color.
Right? So, you know, like you don't have to necessarily throw this away, right? I mean, if you wanted to do a cooked salsa, you could always use. So here's what this is what I'm looking for: a little bit more flesh in the tomatillo. Okay, so I didn't mean as high intensity. That's what I'm gonna do. So look at how much. So I'll put this over here on top of my blender for now. This is a lot of tomatillo sort of juice that came out. So I'm gonna put this aside for now. Okay. So got myself a little bowl here. We could start with. Let's start with mango. Let's just start there, right? It's up to us how much, you know, this could be a total sort of fruit style salsa. Let's just go right around there for now, just to give you an idea of what we're doing on the mango. Who knows what I did here? Probably maybe like the equivalent of like maybe 7-ounce cup or so, maybe an 8-ounce cup of chopped mango. Let's just say one, I like my stuff hot. Maybe two tablespoons. It's not that crazy, but we'll start with a good, you know, 2 heaping tablespoons of red onion, okay? I already added a little bit of salt here, so I can definitely taste where my tomatillo is at, so to speak. It's gonna need some salt, so I'm gonna just add a little bit of salt here to the mix. So I got mango, chile serrano, and you know, just taking a look at this, you can kind of see the distribution, right? It's like, well, you could use a little bit more red onion, for example. So make it, where are we at? Like 3 heaping tablespoons, maybe? Lost track.
What's nice about the salsas is a su gusto.
What was that? Exactly.
A su gusto. Some people like more red onion, more cilantro, you know.
Absolutely. And then, you know, you learn through the process, right? Here we go. It's like, maybe I'd like to just add some habanero here, cilantro, and just put that on top of a, you know, a grilled fish taco without even adding the tomatillo yet. In other words, like, there's so many things you can do. It's just experimenting all the time. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of our fresh cilantro again. I think I'll do that. That's about right. And it's all a rough chop. So now I'm going to go ahead and just add some of the tomatillo. Let me see here. Let me see it like this. A little drip. It's right here. So this is where we're at. This is the tomatillo puree that I just put on top. Okay. So I'm going to just fold. It's a little messy process, but you know, you can do your cleaning up afterwards.
What's so nice about those salsas is, besides fish, if you go in the backyard and grill some chicken, you can put that on top as well.
Absolutely. And it's so healthy too, right? I mean, you got super fresh ingredients. So there we are. I mean, this is one way of looking. And so if you wanted to add a little bit more juice, the tomatillo, you're totally welcome to, right? But this is one way of, so we got chile serrano, we have red onion, no garlic, plenty of mango, we have our fresh cilantro, and some sea salt. And that's all we had to do for the salsa. Okay, so this is one, stuck here a little bit. And obviously, if you wanted to dip some chips in here, you totally can. Right.
I remember we did a salsa class with the molcajetes. You remember, Oscar? And we forgot the chips.
Oh, that's right. Seriously. Oh, that's right. Totally forgot. So here we go. Let me just throw a little bit on the center for the decoration. A little more serrano right here. There we go. Nice and easy. Just all fresh ingredients. Can't go wrong with that. And you can gauge the amount of salt, the amount of lime. Even if you wanted to add a little hint of orange juice in here as well, you could do that. You could tinker with other types of juices, passion fruit. I mean, there's a variety of things you can do with salsas, and it's all about balance, really. And like Jimena had mentioned earlier, you're welcome to use you know, olive oil or any other sort of like neutral oil, just to give it a little bit of depth. And so those are ways of sort of managing the flavor profiles of your salsas.
Delicious.
All right.
We should have had you on last Monday, because the heat wave over this weekend was insane. Those fresh salsas would have been perfect for the barbecue over the weekend. Yes.
That's true. Well, we'll plan ahead for sure.
Yes.
All right. So we have 2 so far. And so last but not least, I should try to put these in the front. I'll do a little bit of a, we'll leave it like that. Let's put the salsas up here. Our second one. And let me go ahead and just straighten up a little bit. Okay. So the next one we're going to do is an avocado salsa. And it's one that I sell at my farmer's market. It's pretty popular. Well, actually, it's probably the most popular. We sell quite a bit of units every Sunday. And I don't know what got me into wanting to make the avocado salsa. Most of the salsas that we were making were all fire roasted salsas, all fully cooked salsas. The only one I was doing was Pico de Gallo, basically, you know, raw tomatoes, onion, garlic, lime juice. And I forget why I decided to do the avocado salsa, but we brought it to market. And today it's essentially the top seller at our farmer's market. So my team is responsible for doing it. I've you know, did my best to get my team trained, and then I got my foot injury. So actually, for the last like 6 months, my team has been holding it down in the kitchen and done an excellent job. So I'm very grateful for that. So should we proceed? Next salsa?
Yes, please, please.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the same blender. Give me a second. I'm going to pour this juice out. So it even happens when we do our avocado salsa. You're never guaranteed in terms of like, you know, when you get your tomatillos, sometimes they're going to have more water content than other times. So it does affect how much avocado we add, and sometimes we add avocado oil to help neutralize flavor profile. So besides the water content of tomatillos, we also have to watch out.
Oh no, we have the same problem, Oscar. I think, yes, we can't hear you and we need to flip you over again. No. Live TV, it'll happen, but we're on it. He's going to fix it again so we can finalize with the last salsa.
Okay. So are you good visually right now?
No, you need to flip it over.
Oh, I see. Hold on. Oops.
There you go.
Is that okay?
That's good. That's good.
All right.
Sounds good. Sorry about that.
It happens. No worries.
I think it's the phone calls that come in and they distort everything.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Last to the last. So yes, I was just saying that sometimes you have to manage the tartness of the tomatillos. And so we also add a little bit of avocado oil at the end if the tomatillos happen to be too tart. So for this, we're going to make a puree. Starting with tomatillos, we're going to just start there. Let's just say maybe about 3 cups worth of tomatillos. About 4 cloves of garlic. A couple of bunches of cilantro. I'm going to start with 1 lime. I don't really use a whole lot of lime because sometimes the tomatillos already have plenty of tartness. Red onion.
So Oscar, what do you guys do when there's a shortage of avocados?
Well, right now the prices are really high. I used to pay about $38 to $45 a box. Now they're about $85 a box.
Wow.
So
wow.
They've gone up. And so there's like these crises that take place between California and Mexico. And avocados are around all year, especially because we have Mexico. We also get some from Chile and some from Peru. But the best ones are Mexico, and then second, they would say California. But you can always find them. But they're not always going to be the quality, like if you're getting them from other places outside of California and Mexico. But you can get them year-round, definitely. But the price is going to fluctuate for sure. Definitely. So here I'm going to add, let's just say, a couple pieces of onion. So the classic ingredients here are to form the base. It's going to be tomatillo, cilantro, some garlic, and red onion. That's what I use. I put a half of a lime. I mean, currently I've been using pink salt. I don't know why, but it's trending or whatever. I use sea salt, kosher salt, or pink salt. It just has a nicer flavor. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get a little bit of this juice just to get the base going. Just happens to be handy right there. Oh, and last but not least, we're going to get some chile serrano to get a little bit of heat. You can use jalapeno as well, or you don't have to use any chile if you prefer. So I'm going to use 3, just break them in half. And there's cilantro, and I think that's a good start right there. Let's go there. Let's get this blender. So yeah, the Vitamix is critical in the kitchen. Here we go. So again, these tomatillos are watery. So I'm going to drain a little bit of that water. And I set aside 2 avocados, okay? So if it's a little too rich, I could always bring back some of that broth or some of that juice that we just, so I got 2 full avocados, right? I'm going to just go ahead and drain a little bit of that water here on the side. One quick sec. Actually, I didn't really take out a whole lot. Very little. So let me show you what's this looking like right now. Close up a little bit. It's got some consistency. You could actually use the salsa like this if you prefer, right? You don't even have to add avocados with it. You could put this directly on carnitas, tacos, etc. So this would be the equivalent of like just a fresh salsa verde. Raw ingredients. We're going to take one next step and actually add avocado to this. So I got 2 whole Haas avocados. I think that's it. Put this to the side. I'll show you once again. So this obviously has a much creamier finish.
Very nice, very nice.
So let's put this into one of our Mexican ceramic bowls. Hecho en Mexico. There you go. Just fill that up. You could always adjust the flavor, obviously. But yeah, just to give you an idea, this is what we're looking at right now. And this is great for, you know, with chicharrones, with tortilla. I mean, you can just put it on a quesadilla. You can put it on.
You put on anything. You put on anything. It's delicious.
Yeah. So here we are. I'm not sure if we can get a good look here, but
very nice. Before we run away, Oscar, can you tell us where can we find you? What are the hours of the various farmers markets that where you're at right now?
So if you decide to visit us at our market in Hollywood, you can find on Instagram. It's like DHFM, Hollywood Farmers Market. But you can just do the search. Hollywood is every Sunday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And Mar Vista Farmers Market, we are there 9 to 2 p.m. also on Sundays.
Are you doing the pickup, the curbside anymore?
We are going to start doing our pickup. I'm going to give myself about a month to get ready. So we will return to that. It could be the next 3 weeks. They're also asking us to do food at Mar Vista. So we may start doing some sort of a maybe vegetarian breakfast taco or something like that. So I got a few things coming down the pike. And we're getting ready for all that.
That's amazing. What we usually do, Oscar, is for our Instagram and also for our YouTube channel, we ask our guests to hold their dish or their salsa for you and just say cheese so we could take a photograph. But we could have it out right here. He's the one who usually takes like the frame.
Okay.
I'm back.
Here it comes.
Hold up with that, whichever one you like. Just hold it to the camera and say salsa.
All right. I think we're gonna go with a green and a red. Here, we'll just take out the chips for now. Put them right here.
Okay.
Oh, like that.
Oh, beautiful. Uno, dos, tres. Salsa.
Salsa.
All right, got it. Thank you.
Bueno, Oscar, it's always a pleasure to have you, to see you here through En Casa. I look forward to once La Cocina is open. We're almost there buying stuff as we speak. And once we're ready to open to the public to provide classes, I can't wait to invite you so you can personally show us how to make these beautiful salsas. Until then, please visit Oscar at the Hollywood Farmers Market and at the Mar Vista Farmers Market. Con eso, muchísimas gracias, Oscar. Adelante. I'm glad things are working out.
Hasta luego.
All right. Muchas gracias, Oscar. Thank you so much, Jimena. You know, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but it didn't take away from the incredible recipes that you shared with us. And I mean, the great salsas there are ripe for tasting, and hopefully
we'll be ready. We'll be more prepared for next time.
All right, thank you. Let's see. Well, we have En Casa con la Plaza Cocina coming up next week, Monday, September 20th. Enchiladas de queso with Claire Risoli from Pocho, LA. So that's Monday at 3 p.m. And then finally, for the end of the month, Besos Pan Dulce with Eliseo Lara, master baker. We've had him on our program a couple times. He's incredible, a master baker, and he comes up with some mouth-watering pan dulce. All right, for the rest of the week, we have on Wednesday, September 15th, here at En Casa, which is at 7 p.m., not at the 3 p.m., a poet warrior with Roberto Lovato, an educator, journalist, and writer. You might know of him, very active member of the Salvadoran Latino community here in LA for many years. Now he's recently published his memoir called Unforgetting, a memoir of family, migration, gangs, and revolution in the Americas. So that's this upcoming Wednesday. And then finally on Friday, September 17th, the return of Dan Guerrero, Happy Hour with Blanca Valdez, Hollywood casting director. So all you would-be or present-day actors, actresses, you'll want to check out this En Casa con la Plaza session with Dan Guerrero this Friday, September 17th. And then the Hola Mexico Film Festival live here at La Plaza is also this Friday, the opening day screening, and then plus a party that's at 7 o'clock with a screening of the film called Perdida, very well-known film out of Mexico that did an incredible box office this last year. So you'll want to check out holamexicoff.com to find out how to get tickets for that incredible event. So all of you that joined us today, if you want to check this out again, we did record it, and we will be slightly editing it and putting it on our Facebook page, where a lot of you are seeing it today. Also our YouTube page at La Plaza LA, and on our website, lapca.org. And don't forget, our gala is coming up September 29th. We're going to have some incredible food there too, brought to us by Madre Oaxacan Restaurant. So, con eso, ya estuvo. Thank you so much to everybody and to our sponsors. We had a new sponsor that started up last week, Union Pacific Foundation. sponsoring the next few En Casa con la Plaza sessions. So thank you so much, Union Pacific Foundation. And thank you to all of you who joined in today. So bye-bye, Jimena. We'll see you soon.
See you later, Pedro. Gracias.
All right, bye-bye.
Gracias.
Adiós a todos. There you go.